What is up, Los Angeles, and welcome back to the Rams LAFB Show. I'm your host, Ryan Anderson, once again joined by Erin Coscarelli, who is who's covering some pickleball events.
I am. It's listen, and when duty calls, I'm like, I'm gonna need to bring my equipment to my friend's house. My best friend, it's her birthday today, so we're doing a girls pickle party, and actually, it's so fun. I love doing these kind of girl gatherings, and they're big, crazy picklers. So I brought my equipment because this news was starting to hit. I sent it to you first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
At like 5 a.m.
The news today that we got to talk about is the Los Angeles Rams have officially named offensive coordinator or co-offensive coordinators.
That's right.
Depending on how you want to read this, but Nate Scheelhaase has been named the offensive coordinator. The exact quotes from the insiders themselves, from Adam Schefter, promoting pass game coordinator Nate Scheelhaase to offensive coordinator and making QB coach Dave Ragone co-offensive coordinator and QB coach. Just your initial thoughts on this move. I mean, I had been thinking Nate Scheelhaase was kind of the front runner once Mike LaFleur moved on. You bring in Kliff Kingsbury as well, so all sorts of moving parts.
Right.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you got to like Nate Scheelhaase. He was, I think, had 5 coaching opportunities, or at least certainly interviews. So he is a rising star in the NFL. The Rams love him. Contributes to the top offense in 2025. And I think the thing that a lot of us are just wondering, or at least my first thought is, well, first of all, Mike LaFleur, with him going to Arizona, they obviously needed to bring somebody up. Not surprised they're going to bring someone within the HQ departments of the Rams. But if it's a co-led operation, I'm always fascinated by, again, the whys of that decision. Mike LaFleur was a really good, and you've said it before on the show, kind of mediator between the powers of Stafford and McVay. And, that one time, I think it was the Arizona game, he almost had the play calling abilities because Coach McVay was not feeling so hot. But I'm just curious what this means, because McVay notoriously is the play caller for the Rams. What does this mean in a deeper sense? What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been impressed with Nate Scheelhaase's resume. So I've been saying for weeks, this is the guy that they're probably going to move. I think in part because he is a rising star. He did have 5 interviews: Browns, Bills, a couple others that I can't think of off the top of my head. But real opportunities, and who was it? Daniel Jeremiah reported that the big concern was his experience level. So getting another year under McVay with the official title offensive coordinator under McVay, which means different things in the league. One thing it means is you're probably going to get a head coaching job the near future. Another thing it means is that Sean McVay is actually the play caller. That's not going to change. So just initially, just throw that out there. I had Cody Alexander on this very program just a couple of weeks ago talking about Kliff Kingsbury had just been hired at that point, and how would the 3 of these guys really groove together? And he talking specifically about Scheelhaase. He says everyone mentions how cerebral he is. He's one of those classic card drawer coaches. So that means he's got a bag of tricks that he can pull from, that he's constantly adding to. He's a detailed strategist, I guess is the correct pronunciation.
Right.
And he's been in the system for a couple of years, and he's made that decision to stick in this system, obviously for the opportunities that it's going to bring him. But I think one of the most interesting things Cody Alexander said was, looking for space is something that is going to be his, calling card, I guess, what he learned from working in the Big Ten and working in the offense with Brock Purdy at Iowa State before joining the Rams, finding those layups, finding more space, spreading guys out. Everything in the NFL is condensing, and you think about that 13 personnel, that's moving so many of the players closer to the middle of everything. So, is he going to bring more space to that? And I think that, we saw with, McVay still running a good amount of 11 personnel, that's still in the cards. So I think really good. You're layering talent here. You've got Kliff Kingsbury, who doesn't care what his role is. He's going to get another opportunity to be a head coach or offensive coordinator. Maybe this is his Thailand year, or wherever he absconded to after he got fired from Cardinals job. But I think this is, a lot of good talent under the roof. And I don't know a ton about Dave Ragone, but he was a play caller with the Atlanta Falcons before joining this staff. And he and Stafford seemed to have a really good rapport at training camp. Obviously, Stafford did not play during training camp. They were on the sidelines a lot. And they seemed to get along really, really well.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, Ragone is the quarterback's coach. I think he's been working with Stafford, the last 2 years. And maybe this hire means, again, it's not lost on me how unconventional Sean McVay always tends to be. Has there ever been these like offensive coordinator duties? Like, you really have to have a good relationship with your staff, communication, for you to be able to trust that this decision isn't going to go awry. But also, the layered approach is, maybe this is important for the Rams as they look to the future. That's one of the things that's been the theme for LA the last 2 years, but certainly it's going to be a focus this year. Where and when are they drafting a quarterback? And how much draft capital are they going to use? I'm assuming they're not going to pick up a guy in free agency. But again, nothing ever ends up being conventional when it comes to the Rams, and they like it like that. Their ethos is defiantly original. And I think we can try to read between the tea leaves, but until we really see how the draft pans out, free agency is starting very soon. What is it, March or February? When is free agency? Free agency starts like end of Feb. Oh, no, sorry. That's the combine. The combine is February 23rd. Guys, even though it's the off season, it's really not the off season for the NFL.
Never.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. Again, it gives us so much more to talk about when it comes to why this team continues to defy anything that is conventional within the NFL. I think you have to be able to manage personalities, which is actually one of McVay's strengths. So, could it mean that the 35-year-old Nate Scheelhaase, by the way, how are we saying it? Did we decide it's Scheelhaase or Scheelhaase?
I just keep going back and forth. It's
yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll just say it one time, one way, and then we'll flip back and forth. But anyways, I think it's awesome. I think it's interesting. I think that was the thing McVay also said when we were asking him about Shula leaving and bringing in new Shula potentially leaving and what that would mean. He's like, look, it gives you a great opportunity to see fresh new things, and they're going to try this out, see if it works. But it could mean that they think Nate will be leaving next year, and very likely after his fourth. This is going to be his third year in the NFL as an NFL coach. Mm-hmm. I think they presume that he might leave year 4. So,
yeah, no, I think you're right, and I think to your point, the quarterback question is becoming ever growing as I've contemplated it more. I don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be able to remain on this staff. I was preparing for our big contract talk, our big salary cap talk that we're going to do at some point. And I don't, unless they give him a big pay raise, which they can't really afford and probably shouldn't, he's
getting what now? 8 something, 8.5.
Well, his contract is officially $11 million, but a lot of that was bonuses, and his cap hit was really low, therefore, around $3.2 million. And the big question is, does he want to try to start in the NFL again, or is he just happy being a backup here in LA? Obviously, there's benefits for both, but more and more I look at it, the amount of QB desperate teams out there. You got to bring up the Cardinals when talking about Garoppolo. You got to bring up probably Minnesota as well. What's going on in Miami? Lots of quarterback needy teams.
That's so interesting. So let me cut you off there. If you're Garoppolo, do you even want to try to be a starter in the NFL? Like, does that make sense? Or being a backup in a McVay system makes sense. But again, I think that's very interesting, because then it just kind of shows the clock is ticking. Yeah. If they do plan the future, they're going to get a young quarterback, and then that young quarterback essentially becomes the backup for Stafford until the foreseeable future.
Yeah, maybe they go out and get Derek Carr at that point. He wants to be on a Super Bowl winning team, so he's only got a couple options out there. So all that said, I think that creating an infrastructure for a young quarterback, is that what they're doing? Just trying to read the tea leaves here. Are they planning on bringing in a young quarterback in this draft specifically, so that they have Kingsbury, Ragone, quarterback coach, and Scheelhaase all under the same roof with McVay there, giving themselves the best opportunity to work with that guy, because reps in practice are limited, and they're probably going to go to Stafford. So there's that part of it. And then another thing I like about this is the model that they seem to be using for these young college coaches. They've brought on two guys to their staff from college, and the point being is they're probably more likely to stick around for a few years than if you go out and you get a hot name from the NFL. We've seen, the brain drain from this organization left and right, constantly, year after year, trying to replace those guys. Having a little bit of continuity helps so much. And now they're doing that on the defensive side. I'm forgetting Michael Hunter, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
The guy from Syracuse as well, linebackers coach. And Jimmy Lake, too, for that matter. So, yeah, I think
fascinating.
Yeah. Those are just kind of a lot of my thoughts.
And it's so fascinating to me, too, because the offense was not really the issue, obviously, in terms of effectiveness or efficiency. It's really the defense, in my opinion, if there's really but again, they need to look to the future. And aren't you curious? I know we talked about it in the last episode, but aren't you so curious in knowing who is McVay currently courting or trying to court, or who does he want? Why does he want them? That's the thing that I'm so interested in, because he cares not just about your mechanics and your technique, but he cares about the cerebral element, or the internal parts of how you are as a football player.
Yeah.
So who he ends up, and maybe they get two, I don't know. It's all is so crazy to me. I love it. I think it's great.
You're talking specifically from the quarterback position, who he's kind of eyeballing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about Ty Simpson.
Yeah, we talked about Ty Simpson, and that was probably one of our most commented on videos of all time. It wasn't our most viewed of all time, but we got a lot of opinions out there.
What were the people saying?
Everything.
Not good things. They didn't like our take. I think you said that there was some feedback.
Some people don't like it. Some people do like it. That is the quarterback conversation at all times. Yeah. And, I had an interesting back and forth with Nick Hamilton of Nightcast Media on Twitter. He's often around Rams camp and all around LA, to be honest, one of the hardest working men out there. And he said, why would they use a draft pick on an inconsistent quarterback like Ty Simpson? And I'm not an NFL scout. I'm not a quarterback scout. I trust what other people will say about them. And to be honest, I'm at this very point, I'm not necessarily worried about who they're trying to identify, but how and when when they try to start addressing this problem, because the who is going to be who it's going to be. And I'll throw this in here because there was a YouTube comment earlier today or yesterday that was saying, well, I think the Rams were probably going to go after a veteran quarterback option once Stafford retires, as if those just grow on trees, as if Stafford didn't fall in their laps, wanted out of Detroit at the very same time that right. They wanted to move on from Goff. That kind of thing just doesn't happen. Quarterback draft classes, some are good, some are bad. We're in one that's probably considered somewhere in the middle of the pack, I guess. So, all I know at this moment is it's a question that they have to address. So how they address it and when they address it, the who is like, I don't know. Are they tanking in 2026 so that they can get Arch Manning in 2027? Probably not.
I don't think Stafford's on that train. Yeah.
Yeah. They could. I mean, they could position themselves with draft picks. I wrote this very contentious article about trading Puka Nacua.
I know. I saw that.
I sent it to you because I was too chicken to put it up on social media. I had to tell somebody about it, but it was an idea that from the Heed the Call podcast, and we're getting off topic here. I want to get you back to your pickleball.
No, I love it.
But Heed the Call podcast was saying like, hey, you're going to have to pay this guy quarterback money. You can trade him for a bunch right now. And if you look at, you look at the Tyreek Hill trade, which is probably the closest comp.
No, I don't think that's happening. I mean, I think you don't think that that's happening.
I don't think it's happening either, but
no, not happening. No,
I don't think Puka's getting traded. No,
no, and I don't think they're going to bring in a Tyreek, no matter what.
That's not what I'm saying. Definitely, Tyreek Hill is completely off the board for me. Just from there's no way McVay would ever tolerate someone like that on his roster.
Okay, yeah.
But what I'm saying is when Tyreek Hill was traded from Kansas City to the Dolphins, the Chiefs got a bunch. They got a first, a second, a fourth, and a fifth, I think. And Puka's younger, possibly fewer, a different kind of baggage, perhaps. Anyway, some team is going to have to pay him $45 million a year. And that's a lot of money.
Well, and I think it begs the question. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be the highest paid wide receiver, obviously, just on the market and just his production. But I think the thing that with Puka people get concerned about is obviously his ability to handle and grow into and develop into the maturity of someone who is not going to continue to be a distraction, and we've seen Puka and he's got a heart of gold, but such a young and emotionally and passionate guy that's going to weigh on the Rams' minds when giving him a big deal, a big contract, because we've seen it go awry before. And I'm not saying that that's happening with Puka, but we've seen contracts get paid and then stuff happens. I don't foresee that to be the situation that ends up going down with Puka. But listen, you got to think about all scenarios. I just don't think they're gonna give away Stafford's number one when they're running, when this is like it's Super Bowl or bust this year, as it was this last season. But it's great to talk about because it's interesting. People at home want to know. I mean, look, girls are having so much fun playing pickleball.
We'll get you back.
It's such a good sport because it's like active, it's not crazy athletic, and you can have a mimosa and you're good. But it's just, to me, it's all of this is such great it's why people love the NFL, because it's like our soap opera. It's like what we're curious about. How do you build rosters? How do you build personalities? Why are you bringing in 2 offensive coordinators? What's the why there? That's always what I'm curious about. Are we planning for something in the future? Are we thinking, how do we shape our quarterback room moving forward? Anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but
yeah, and I think Nate was the guy, mostly because he needed the title so that he can get the next job. And they got and Nate and Dave Ragone probably got a raise as well, so it's all good there, So
yeah. Okay, yeah. Wait. One last question.
Yeah.
How does this offense now with Kliff, Scheelhaase, and Ragone, how do you foresee this offense changing this season?
You'd have to go back and take a look at what Dave did while he was OC at Atlanta to really know. We kind of have an idea of what Kliff Kingsbury does, and from what I garnered from Cody Alexander is that, at least from his college days, what Nate really knows is kind of the idea of spreading the offense out. And so I think those meetings are just going to be really, really fascinating. I think they're I think they want to move away from 13 personnel. And the reason I say that is because that was not the plan going into the season. 12 personnel was terrible when they tried to roll that out last year. And 13 was kind of the big compromise, the thing that was working, that was a heavier personnel that they could run out of the backfield, under center, out of. So all that said, I don't think they want to have 3 tight ends on the field. They want to have Puka, Devontae, and somebody.
Aaron or Colby,
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things that was interesting, I spoke with Anthony Armstrong. He's was a former wide receiver. He does some broadcast stuff covering the Commanders. And he said Tutu's big issue was that he just didn't block.
I can't. He's 150 pounds soaking wet. I mean, the guy, Don't
you know that though, when you bring him in and you pay him $10 million, is that? I
mean, that decision making, it took me by surprise. Right. I was terribly shocked. I didn't think they were going to try that experiment again. That speed is intoxicating. You can't teach that speed. That speed, but I'm 5'8", 150 pounds. Tutu Atwell is 5'8", 150 pounds. I mean, I'm not in the NFL. And that's where the comparison ends.
40 time.
Sub 4s. I'm down in the 3s, I think. 40 what? Oh, 40 yards? 40 feet.
Have you ever clocked your 40 time? I did it one time at the combine.
No, I need to do that though, because I am a runner. And
Are you? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
but you do long distance.
I do long distance.
Yeah. I was a track star back in my 8th grade years.
Not surprised.
I did a 4x100. Yep, and the shot put. I know that's really believable, but I did. And the long jump. I did the long jump too.
I was 4 and 800, and then the miler occasionally. 400 is no joke, but
that's aggressive. That's an aggressive approach right there.
I have short legs. I got short little legs.
Wow. But you were fast.
Anyway, thank you guys. I hope this talk was informative, helpful, and entertaining. We will be back with our big salary cap talk maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. Yeah. We'll see how the schedule rolls out and how those mimosas are going down. But until then, folks, thanks for tuning in. Check out that Cody Alexander interview is up on YouTube already. It's called Fixing the Rams Defense, up there on YouTube. I am Ryan Anderson. She is Erin Coscarelli. We will see you next time.
Family, thank you so much for hanging out with us and watching the Rams LAFB show. Quickly before you go, got to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper. It's the #1 sports app right now, and you've got to download it because it's got so many great features that I want to tell you about. Aside from season-long fantasy, which is the best in the business, they've also got live score trackers, in-game updates, plus the live chat where you can actually communicate with other users right on the app. But perhaps the best feature, at least that I like, is the daily fantasy feature or the live pick'em. Just pick 2 to 8 players across any sport, baseball, basketball, hockey, obviously football and our Rams. You're going to choose a player, just choose more or less. Matthew Stafford, more or less passing yards. Kyron Williams, more or less rushing yards, more or less touchdowns. 2 to 8, you can win real money. So when you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code RAMSLAFB, and Sleeper's going to give you a match bonus up to $100. So you deposit $100, they're going to give you $100 free. You're now sitting at $200. You put in $10, they're going to match you $10. You're now sitting at $20. But on top of that, right now, Sleeper is offering all new user signups a $20 free entry, no deposit required. Go sign up. You're automatically invested $20 straight from Sleeper. But you can stack that offer with that match bonus offer to add more money. Just make sure to use that promo code RAMSLAFB. Go check out Sleeper. Download it today. Tell them the guys at the Rams LAFB sent you. And as always, Ramley, thank you so much for making us a part of your day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.